welcome. This is Sir Shadow from Sir Shadow Gaming. I am bringing you some gameplay footage of Town of Salem. Now, when I first recorded most of my gameplay, the first I'd say 10 videos, I didn't have a great mic. So I recently got a better mic. So for the first few videos, there's going to be voiceovers. Now, in Town of Salem, if you don't know, there are a few different classes, and there's a few different people, I could say. And the few different people are the townspeople, the Mafia, and then the serial killer. Now, if you're part of the town, you're trying to kill the Mafia and the serial killer. And if you're Mafia, you want to kill all the townspeople and try to get the serial killer hung. And if you're the serial killer, you want to just kill everybody. Now, there's a few things going on. Serial killers can kill anybody at night. So they can kill Mafia, they can kill townspeople. Now, Mafia, they can kill townspeople. They cannot kill the serial killer at night. So, this makes the game a little more interesting. That's why the Mafia are trying to get the serial killer hung. Now, in this gameplay, I am the mafiosa, or mafioso, either one, and basically what my job is to do whatever the Godfather, who is the leader of the Mafia, wants. So if the Godfather wants to kill someone, I actually kill the person. And then there's also a framer involved, and what the framer does is he just frames people. So if someone were to investigate that person, it would say that they were the Mafia. Now, what we're doing right now is I was asking the Godfather who to kill, and I'm recommending to kill Chilled Chaos, but he wanted to kill Blueberry. So he's going to kill Blueberry, and I am going to kill for him. Now, during any of this time, the SK could kill us, but depending on what the SK does, he kills. So basically what my YouTube channel is going to be, is it's going to be a bunch of gameplay footage of either me, myself, alone, or with some friends. Now those friends would be Doc Fox, Green Kid, and Joe Watkins. And depending on what goes on the day, you'll see any types of footage from us, any types of footage from me. I'll be the only one recording. They may get into it later, but as for right now, I'll be the only one recording. So as you saw there, we killed Blueberry, and C9 was killed, I believe, by the SK, and he ended up leaving the game. And then this guy right here, he committed suicide. That means he left the game. So all the things that can really happen for the town people in this game do happen. I mean, everything bad happens for this town, because there's a role called the medium, which is a pretty important role. Now, the medium can talk to the dead, and Blueberry was the medium, and he just left the game, as you saw. But since he's the medium, he can talk to the dead, but since he's dead, he's kind of no use. And then the jailer, who C9 was, is also a very important role. Now what the jailer does is he can choose anyone to put in jail for the night and ask them a series of questions, and depending if he thinks they are telling the truth or not, he can end up killing them or letting them free. And also another thing to note is that the SK, like I said, can kill anyone, but say the jailer jails the SK, which is what happened. The jailer kills the SK instead of his selected target. So if the serial killer wanted to kill someone but then got put into jail, the serial killer will kill the jailer instead. Same thing goes with escorts. Escorts are what they are. They're actually escorts. So say the escort escorted the serial killer, then the serial killer would kill the escort instead of the person he was wanting to kill. Another role is the gesture, and now what the gesture does is he is trying to get hung. If he gets hung, he wins the game, and he also gets to kill. someone from beyond the grave. So whoever voted guilty on him is eligible to kill during the night. The executioner is also a role in which you can win in. The executioner is trying to get somebody hung. So you're trying to get a certain person hung, and if you do so, you also win. Now, those are the only roles other than the townspeople who can win. So the people who can win are executor, jester, mafia, SK, and then the town, of course. Now moving down the list, the sheriff, he can also investigate people. He can tell whether you have a gun, or if you're he can tell different kind of roles along with the investigator. Now, what the veteran does is he can kill people, and he can also go on alert. So say the SK stops by that night and he's on alert, the SK will get shot instead of dying. Now, the thing with that is that the sheriff only has a certain amount of alerts he can do. Now, what the doctor does is what it is intended to do. He heals someone at night. So if anyone attacks that person, he is healed. He doesn't die. And the investigator, like I said, will investigate people. Jailer jails people. The medium talks to the dead. The Godfather calls all the shots in the Mafia. And as you'll see in this gameplay, the Mafia, which I am in, is just steamrolling this entire town right now. The framer, like I said, framed people. So if the investigator who was already dead investigated somebody, he would come up as the Mafia instead of being whatever role he was. Now the lookout can choose someone to look at for the night. So say he looks at me and I go and kill somebody as Mafia. Well, he'll see that I visited so-and-so, and if that person died, then he can say, well, I'm escort, or I'm not escort, that I'm lookout, and I saw him go to his house last night. So that's another way to get Mafia or SK killed. The town killing I am still not certain about, and then town random can be any one of the townspeople. So town random can be an extra sheriff, an extra doctor, an extra investigator, an extra medium, an extra escort, extra lookout, or he can be some other type of role. So as you saw, only 2 people died that round. So yeah, Mafia are just steamrolling the townspeople at this point, and the SK is still up, and the Gesture is still up, and the Executor is still up. So let's see what happens now. I guess someone said that Shield was the SK, so the town and apparently the Mafia as well agreed to vote him up for trial. Now, if you get voted up for trial, you have 20 seconds to give your defense. And most of the time, people just argue and say, oh, well, I'm innocent. Or, as in this case, he is starting to sing a song. Now, in matters like that, you usually know they're either Mafia or SK. So, I don't remember what he was. I believe he was SK. Now, once his defense is over, people can judge on him, either innocent or guilty, and as you saw there, everyone thought that he was guilty. So now he is being hung. And he was the SK. Another important thing to take into account are wills. Now, wills are what it entails is that it is a will that you can write each night. So for the jailer, he says who he jails each night, and then if he jails someone and they say they're sheriff, he'll write down he jailed this person and their role that they said they were was this. Now, the importance of that is if the jailer writes down a name and he dies that night, Most of the time the townspeople will figure that out and realize that he jailed the SK and that is why he died. So another great thing about wills is that everyone can use them. So if you die, you can leave notes and whatnot describing who you think it is or what you were doing the entire game. So the investigator will investigate someone each night, and then he'll write it down in his will. So when he dies, the townspeople can read it and see. Okay, so so that's his will right there, and he said that Chilled Chaos was the SK. Now that actually isn't Chilled Chaos. We're just doing a YouTuber theme for this match, and he was the sheriff for this round. So as you saw, the sheriff can detect who is good or evil just by investigating them. I really haven't played sheriff that much, so I'm still a little iffy about exactly what he does. But you can also see that all three Mafia members are up. Myself, Markiplier, and Mr. Sark. So the Mafia, like I said, are basically steamrolling this game. And I think someone is accusing me of killing somebody, which I did actually. And he's saying that he's lookout and that he saw me go into Captain's home last night. So a few people are backing me up who aren't even Mafia and are voting for Stan. And they needed 4 votes to take me to trial, to hang me, and they only got 3, luckily. And you can also whisper in the game, which some games has a lot of whispering going on, which a lot of people don't like, because then you always think that there's some metagaming going on or something else like that. Which in this game you can metagame pretty hard if you have friends in a Skype call or TeamSpeak with you. But for the most part, the metagaming is at minimal for the most part. So now we've decided to kill Jack, just because if we were to kill Stan, it would just cement his point even farther, saying that I am the mafioso. I'm sorry. So it's a smart move by the Mafia to not kill Stan, because then the townspeople would see that he was right about me being mafioso. Now, if they don't vote one of us up tonight, then we can start out voting them and making people up to hang. Now, what Jack's role was is he was actually the town random. He was mayor. I haven't played mayor at all, so I can't actually tell you what that role does. But, like I said, if they don't vote one of us up, then we basically will win the game, because all 3 Mafia members are up and there are only 3 townspeople left. And Markiplier just whispered me saying to vote Stan, because if 3 of us vote Stan, then it's likely that someone else will back us up and vote him along with us so we can get him hung. So now you get a little bit to discuss, and then you get some time to vote. Now, as you saw, Markiplier and I both voted Stan. Stan voted, of course, for myself, and then Tim, who is not with us, voted against Markiplier and then changed his vote to Stan, and then Mr. Stark finished it up with the 4th vote. So now he's saying that he's lookout, which I believe he is. And what he's saying right now is that he can help the town win, but at this point, it really doesn't matter, because we already voted him up, and 3 of us are going to vote guilty, and even if the last guy votes not guilty, he's still going to get hung. So now what that guy said is Tim, Mr. Sark, and Bane are evil, And he's actually wrong about that, because Tim's not with us. Tim is just helping us for some reason. And so this is a very odd game, because we just killed the lookout, and the executioner and gesture are still up. Now, another interesting fact about the executioner is that if he doesn't kill his target, say his target dies by an SK or Mafia, then the executor becomes a jester. And now, since there are 3 of us and 2 of them, we ended up winning the game. So this is my first of many videos to come.